Good afternoon and welcome to my Facebook Live. Of my live, I should say, because I'm not only just on Facebook, but I'm also on YouTube as well. Hi, my name is Michelle Tutrissa, and I'm an independent demonstrator here in New South Wales, Australia. And I'd like to welcome you today to my live. Now, please jump on, say hello, and let me know where you're from. It's always really good to see new people coming on and having a bit of a chat with us. If you have questions or anything like that, please post them and I will get back to you after the live has finished if I haven't seen them during my live. Okay, so we're going to look at today at some new product. So let me just bring my camera here into view. Might be one moment and we'll change it to my downward. Actually, first, before we do that, what I'd like to do is I'm just going to show you what Stamping Up are up to at the moment. Okay, you can see by this slide that Stamping Up now have online exclusive products. Now, these are products that you're not going to find in the catalogue. They're only going to be on our online store. So what I recommend is you head over to my online store at michelledutrissa.stampingup.net and have a quick look at those products. You will find them under what's new, and you will see some of the products on that slide at the moment, what's there, but there are also some other ones. You will see in the little slide which has got a little rhino, which is not on the flyer. That's one of the new ones, stamps and dies, which I think is quite fun, and I'm looking forward to getting hold of that one. But there are also some other ones there. Now, as I said, these aren't going to be in any catalogue, and they're really while stocks last, as far as we know, but there may be a few that Stamping Up may reorder. We don't know what's going to come and go, so if there is something you like, I wouldn't leave it too long before jumping on and ordering them. So have a look at those. They are well worth it. So let me just bring my camera back to me again. Okay, and let's just flip this down to my desk. So this is one of the products that is on that online exclusive. I haven't bought the whole range in this. I've just bought a few bits and pieces that I'm interested in. So I'd just like to show them to you. So we've got the Irresistible Blooms, which is this lovely flower image with leaves, some really great old style sentiments, which is good. And I think these would be really great for when you're doing your embossing. Even I want to give these a go with the gold foil. They could look really good with that, but we're not going to do that today. So we've got this lovely stamp set. It also comes with a range of dies, but before I show you the dies, I want to show you the design series paper. Now, I've already started cutting this up. I've only just started playing with this today. So let me just show you some of the designs that are in this. You've got this beautiful one here, and I'll go through some of the colours that are in these in a minute. And then on the back, we have that lovely muted one. We've got this one, and I'll show you what this one here, something that is an embossing folder, because Stamping Up have also brought out 3 new embossing folders, which I'll show you in a second, which actually has this design on it. Then you've got this lovely muted one. It looks a little bit like clouds, don't you think? Hi, Lenny. How are you? You've got this one here, which looks like strings of beads. And then again, a lovely muted one on that side. Some lovely leaf designs. Now, with this one here, they've brought out that colour with the white. And then they've brought out this one as well. Okay, so you've got it with the light coloured leaves and the dark. Actually, that's probably a better one to show you that one. So you've got that leaf pattern, same pattern, but different colours. And then on the back, you have those two. So going back to these, we've got this floral leaf one here on the back, that muted. This is just stunning. I love this. I love the design. It would look great on a very simple card. Again, another all over leaf. I didn't show you the back of that one, which is that little one there. Same design as this one, but again, a different colorway. And then the back with that one with like the lines with looks like little beads or water drops coming down them. Now there are a couple of others, and these ones are all over floral. So you've got two colorways and the reverse side of those two. Now the beauty of these is that they're dyed. Now here I've got the dyes all here. I'll show you those one moment. But all of these flowers here, so you've got a large flower and a smaller one, can be cut out in dyes. So you can stamp the image from the stamp set, or you can cut out the flowers directly from the designer series paper. The other little thing is these little bunches of leaves here also has a die, so you can also stamp it because it's on the in stamps, as well as you can cut that out as well. So you can actually get quite a bit out of this paper. Okay, let me just pop those to one side and let me show you the leaf ones. So again, you've got these two leaves here, and you can see it cutting into it. But you can also cut with that one and that one, and again, that little one cuts out that. So again, you've got quite a bit there that you can cut out and get quite a bit out of it. Now, the other thing too is, let me just remove those. These are some of the other dies that there are. And what I've done here, let me just show you this one here. So I've flipped this paper over, and I've cut some of these dies out of also my designer series paper. So I sort of found that when I cut, whoops, don't want to lose that one. When I've cut some of these, I might have had a little piece here left over, and I was able to flip my paper over and get in a small leaf. So I really wasn't throwing away much rubbish. You also have these three little dies. Now, I haven't even looked yet. I don't think there's any leaves on these pages that these will cut out, but if we look at the stamps, no, there's no stamps there that we can. I was hoping there was a stamp there. But anyway, you've got three other little dies here. Let's just have a quick look and see, is there anything else out of this that they will? No, but it does cut an inner and outer, so you could make some really nice leaves. Again, I think it's going to be a little bit like these ones here, where you've got cutaway pieces and you can cut away some other leaves, because that cut away the outside edge and it cuts away a piece in the middle. So I think I haven't used those today, but they could be a lot of fun to play with. So that's your designer series paper that comes in that suite, and the stamp set. And the other die is this one here, which we're going to use today. Okay, can we see that? Yep, sorry, it froze a little bit. Let me just grab some designer series paper so you can see that better. And that's like that string with beads or pearls or something on it. I did see a nice card the other day where they actually popped little sequins or pearls or something in those little holes. And then you've got this one here, which again cuts out that long strip a little bit like these. So I think you could probably even pop that on there and get some really nice effects, because you've got the same effect coming in the paper. So I think these are going to be really fun to play with. Now, I mentioned also, let me just pop these in here because I like to keep all these together, don't lose them all. And there's lots of little pieces in there. You also have 3 embossing folders. So this comes in a set of 3 embossing folders. Now, I mentioned before that there was a paper, if I can find it quickly. This one here. Now, let me pull out these 3 embossing folders so you can see what I'm going to be talking about. This one here, this embossing folder here, has like a hashtag. It's not exactly the same as that, but it has, I don't know whether you can even see that. I'm sorry, my internet is playing up at the moment. But it has this sort of similar sort of texture to that. This one here is a little bit more square, whereas this one's a little bit more all over, but it is very close to that one. The other folder that we have is this one here. Another, I love subtle textured folders because I think they make, like you can take a piece of plain cardstock and make it very interesting by adding that little bit of texture to it. Hi, Marie. How are you? I'm glad you've caught my live today. Okay, so this one here is quite nice. And it just has like even a little bit of a floral pattern to it. But again, it's not real bold. It's quite a nice subtle sort of design. I haven't played with that one as yet, and today I'll be using this one here. And then the last one out of the 3 is like a little half circle. It's a little bit bolder, but I think it still could be quite an interesting. So they come in a pack of 3, and they're called 3D embossing folders. Basic 3D embossing folders is basic. So it's just there's no particular name for them, but they're 3, and I think these will be great, particularly if you want a little bit of a subtle image. And if you remember the subtles embossing folder, 3D embossing folder we had, this one is a really good replacement for it, I think, because it's got a little bit more detail, but again, I just think it's just subtle enough. It can give you a nice bit of texture to your cardstock. Okay, the other thing I've got that goes with this suite are these are called loose frosted dots. So these are just little dots you can glue on your page. Let me see, grab another, excuse me, piece of cardstock here. Let's just flip that over so we've got it on the other side. But it's just a little frosted dot, and you've got them in a range of colors. Now, talking about the colors, this one here is Flirty Flamingo, and you've got Daffodil Delight. But this one here, this green here, is one of the colors that are coming back. So Stampin' Up! Are going to have a color refresh. And they have used a couple of the colors that they're going to bring back in this paper range, in this DSP. So I'm just going to pop the lid on that, because knowing me, I'm going to tip them out everywhere. And let me just show you the colors that go with this DS Designer Series paper. Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo. Now here's one of the ones that are coming back, Lost Lagoon. So if you like that Lost Lagoon, we're getting it back. Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and that's another one. And I was going through my stash a little while ago, and if you haven't noticed, let me flip this camera back to me again. Let me have a look. Let's take it back to me. Guess what? I'm wearing Pretty Peacock. Didn't realize that until I went searching to see whether I had anything left out of the Pretty Peacock. And I have still got, let me go back to my desk view. I have still got the Pretty Peacock stamp pad and some blends. And if I bring up my shirt so you can see, look at that. Now that does not happen very often. I match, and that was not planned. So someone said it looked like a starfish. Yeah, it does, probably that embossing fold right, Jimmy. Does look a little bit like that. But anyway, so I am coordinated today, and I thought what I might use is the Pretty Peacock ink pad in today's card. So what I've done is I've just basically cut up some cardstock. I have got a rough idea what we're going to do. I'm going to pop all this out of the road. Haven't decided on a sentiment or anything yet, but I've cut out some of these flowers. So that's one out of one piece, and then I've taken this one, which is out of another sheet, which is slightly lighter in colour, and it had a little bit of the Daffodil Delight in it as well. So there's going to be fairly soft coloured flowers. Again, I've done some of the leaves. I've die cut this one here, which is your Pretty Peacock, on something probably like your soft sea foam, slightly darker than maybe your soft sea foam. And then this one here, which is your printed in the white on those sort of colours. So I've die cut some of them. I only did one little one of that one. I thought actually I did two, and I don't know where it may have disappeared to, but probably wouldn't use that in this card anyway. We'll just have a look. I can always cut some more if we need it. Then I cut some of these little leaves out of, as I said, the reverse side. So we've had the more of the muted side of the paper. This one here had a little bit of a white print on it, but I just cut some random leaves out in some of the different backgrounds. So you can see this one here has got a little bit more of the yellow in it, or the Daffodil Delight in it, and we'll just play with those and see how they go. So the first thing I want to do, let me just find all my cardstock here. I have cut some bits and pieces up, so I've got a rough idea of what we're going to do. And I will put all my measurements and everything onto my blog, which is Butterflies and Bows. So I've done a card base in my soft sea foam. I've taken a piece of the designer series paper, and I've just cut that down just a little bit smaller. So that is 10 centimeters wide by 14.4. I've cut another piece of soft sea foam at 9.7 by 14.1. Now this is the piece I'm going to play with first, and we're going to die cut this circle out of there. So we're going to have the piece of designer series paper coming through from underneath. So I've got my cut and emboss machine here. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to see much because it does take up a bit of room. I'm sorry if my lives are going a little bit, stopping a little bit. As I said, the internet, the NBN here has been playing up for the last few days. So I'm going to pop plate 1 and 2, and I've got a plate 3 and another plate 3. Pop on my cardstock. I'm going to pop this in the middle, but not in the middle lengthwise, in the middle widthwise, of course, but lengthwise just a little bit closer to the top, because if I'm going to put flowers on this, I'm probably going to put the flowers down the bottom there. Pop that on top and run that through. Just going to pop that to one side for the moment. And let's remove this. and remove some of these little bits and pieces. So I'm just popping out all of those little die cut pieces there. Now I want to add a little bit of texture to this piece. So I'm going to remove my plate 2. I'm going to bring in plate number 4. Yep. And I've got my embossing folder here. Now this is the one that's got that nice subtle texture, and I'm going to pop that in there and on top of that. Okay. So all we need is plate 1. Then I've got my 3D embossing folder with my cardstock, and then plate 4 on top. Let me just get rid of these other 2 plates so we don't have to work in a complete mess, and we'll wind those through. So what colours is everybody looking forward to seeing in the refresh? When the what did I say this colour was? A pretty peacock came out. We also had was it Moroccan rose or something like that? I would love to see that colour come back. I love that colour. Okay. So there we go. There's that. As I said, it's just got that really nice, a little bit of a subtle background on that. So let's just bring in our card and let's have a look, see how we're going, because I sort of haven't really got a new blade on my cutter trimmer. And let me just crease this nicely, grab my bone folder. That's better. So the idea is that's going to go onto there. And then this is going to go on top like that. Okay, so we're going to have a look. I'm going to start putting this together in a minute, but just want to play with, see whether we're heading in the right direction. Put those into there. Now we could just leave that as one flower, or we could pop another one in there. Usually I like to have it in groups of 3, but I'm sort of thinking that that is maybe a little bit too big, unless we just really have just a little bit of that colour coming through, or bring that down a little bit. Okay, so that's given me a bit of an idea of what we're going to be looking at. So let's start putting some of this together, and then I've got to work out our sentiment and where all that's going to be situated. Okay, so first off, what we need to do is adhere this piece down to our cardstock. Now I'm using my multi-purpose glue because I do love my multi-purpose glue, just so that I can move it about. I did try to use my seal the other day, but I thought, oh, I just can't, once it's down, I can't slide this into position where I want it to be. So I do like to be able to move this around and get it exactly where I want it. Nice, that's good. Okay, now this piece is going to go on top. Now, I was thinking at one stage of putting this on dimensionals, but I think I might not because of my flowers are going to go on dimensionals, and I don't want to make this too bulky for postage. So I think I might just glue that straight down. But of course, you know, if you wanted to have lots of layers, you could add that with dimensionals underneath. But I would add quite a few dimensionals, especially around the edge, just so then you've got support for anything you pop on top. So again, I'm just using my Mops glue. I'm not worrying about gluing where the dots are. And I just want to be able to move this into position. Like that. Just going to give that a good rub. That is looking very pretty. You've never fussed on Lost Lagoon? Yeah, I was having a look to see if I could find, but I must have got rid of the Lost Lagoon. I did like it, but I've got nothing left of it at all. Yeah, it did look pretty with Pretty Peacock. But, okay, so Marie, you're saying yes, that colour was pretty, but would like to keep soft succulent. Yeah, I like soft succulent, and I also like evening evergreen. I'm going to be sad to see that one go, and the soft succulent, of course. There was a denim blue one, Misty Moonlight, which I really loved too. I'd love to see it come back, but we'll wait and see. Okay, so let's start having a look at these. So I'm going to pop this one here, and I'm going to pop this onto some dimensionals. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do bring back. It's I think we knew it was coming. It's been a while since they've done one, so it was going to happen sooner or later. Now I've just put my dimensionals into the middle, just because I know that I'm going to be popping things around the outside, like underneath it, and tucking things in. So I want to have that one not too close to my bottom edge, but just there, because I want to bring the flowers a little bit following that circle. So this one here, I want to tuck that one into there, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on that one. But again, I'm only going to put my glue in the middle. Just so that if I can tuck some leaves or other things in around it. And then this one here, could even, but I've put a bit of adhesive in there. I was just thinking you could even tuck that into there, but I don't think I'm going to try. I'm not quite sure. It's even still, even though I've got my dimensionals in the middle, that one there is still coming out a little bit. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to pop him in there anyway. And again, I'm just going to put some adhesive in there. No, the flower needs to go that way. And I'm going to pop that in there as close into the center as I can. You probably could have put these two on first and then this on the top, because even though, as I said, I've got the dimensionals there in the middle, it's not quite going in as much as I would like. So here again, we've got these, and I'm just working out where I want these to go. We'll bring in these flowers here. So I've still yet to glue these ones down, but I am looking at these other leaves. So I do want to add a little bit of a mixture of both. I like that darker. I think maybe something like that. Okay, let's just pop some glue on the back of these. Actually, before I put glue, I'm going to grab some linen thread. This is something I've been doing a little bit lately, is taking my linen thread, or even your baker's twine, just take some of that curve out of it, and then separating it just to give you a little bit of a fine detail. You wrap it around your fingers as loosely as tight or tightly as you want. And I've just wrapped them around at different lengths. And then I'm just going to fold that in half there and just crease that a little bit. And then grab my glue dots. Because sometimes you don't want a big, thick piece of linen thread or your baker's twine in there. Now I just want to bring a second glue dot over the top. Just sandwich all that together. Give that a really good press. I've got my take a pick tool. And I want to pop that in there, but I want to pop it in. Let me just put the lid on that glue before it dries out. I want to pop that in there as far as I possibly can. Whoops. And you can just tease that out a little bit. Pop some glue on the end of that. And then again, just tuck that in there. That looks quite pretty there. I might just, with this one here, just put a little bit of glue on that one and tuck that one in. I'm not going to put any linen thread under that one. Again, I'm just following that circle. This one here, I might pop, again, pop a little bit underneath there. And then I'm going to grab another piece of that linen thread, again doing the same thing to split it. The linen thread will actually split into three quite well. When it wants to. Making a liar of me now. Okay. Have some at different lengths. And just fold that into a half there at the end. You don't need to fold the other end, it's just that one end. This time I might just peel the dots off there. So I've just got two dots on there. So I've got one go there. Fold that in half so it just goes over the top. Give them a good press so they're sandwiched. And again, just take. Now I'm taking that in at an angle, so it's following the direction I want it to go. take that out for a second because I want that to go again right in there as far as I can. And then again, just tease that out. Pop a little bit of glue on the back there. Now, I don't normally put glue on my leaves just for the fact that I like to be able to, if I want to flip them up a little bit, you can. And again, that's just going to sit just there like that. Okay. Oh, that is looking so pretty. Now, do we need to bring in any of these? I'm not a real blingy person. Hi, Joan. How are you? I don't use a whole lot of bling. Now, this is where I keep telling myself I've got to buy myself another take a pic tool because I've taken the putty end off. And do you think I can get my putty end back in again? Let's see if I can do it. It's like you've got to get that thread going the right direction. Nope, it doesn't want to screw in. Better put a cap on the end there before I poke myself. I might just... Oh, I struggle with this every single time. This is the older one. That screws in beautifully. Don't know why that one won't. Okay. No problems at all. I think I'm just going to have to buy 2 of these. I'll probably save a lot of hassle. Okay, let's just have a look. If we pop some of these, now we can pop them onto there, whether we use what colour. Because at the moment things are pretty soft, and whereas if I add, so that's in the Flirty Flamingo, and this one is don't know whether I want to do all of these. I've got a few different sizes. Don't know whether it's going to be too much. It's another big one. Let's see if I can get a smaller one. Move that one out of the road for the moment. Let's just okay, what do you think? We can dot them around on that circle, all in one colour, or I can just put 3 on there. Or should they be in a multicolour, so have a few of the... I just don't want it to overpower this. We haven't done the sentiment as yet. Should we wait and see what the sentiment looks like? Let's just do the sentiment. Let's pop this to one side. So let's put that over there. Now I've got it somewhere in my little bits and pieces. I've cut another piece of the soft sea foam, and I've got a piece of my basic white. That's to go on my inside of my card, and then I've got this piece here. Now what I thought I would do is use the pretty peacock. You know what, we still do have other leaves. I was going to use some of these, but I didn't get around to. But I think I've got enough leaves on there without adding any more. I don't think we need any more of those. And I'm just wondering which sentiment. It's either going to be a thank you, a hello, I think I might try so thank you is quite big, and I really don't want to go too big. Yep, it still looks like there's ink in this. Hello. So I've got a little bit of a blob of ink on there, but hey, no one's going to know. Let's just bring this back in. Do I cut it out as a rectangle? Let's have a look. Or am I going to fussy cut it? I'm leaving a little bit of room around it just in case I decide to fussy cut. Because it's a nice bold sentiment, so it's going to be easy to fussy cut. It's not going to be too difficult. Problem is, it is because it's so bold, you have to cut. I like my sentiment sometimes thin, because if you've got something like this, which has got a lot of floral in it, if you have it too big, then you tend to lose it. Okay, let's try the fussy cutting. You can always restamp it. So when I'm fussy cutting like this, what I tend to do is keep my scissors straight, and I move my cardstock. And all I'm basically doing is opening and closing my scissors and just letting the scissors move around. It'll give you sometimes a sort of nice curve. Sometimes you do need to go back and just fix up those little bits where you might have a little bit of a jagged end. Okay. So by making that a lot smaller, that now can sit across there without covering up all those leaves and all that flower. And I think I do like that across there. I'm going to use some little mini dimensionals for the end that's going to be sitting on the leaf, because I've already got dimensionals underneath that big flower. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue just on the end there. Now, I've probably got a little bit too much glue there for my liking, so I'm just going to use this scrap of paper here and just spread it out a little bit. Another pair of tweezers. Okay. Now, I might just grab a glue dot. Where did I put them? There's the box. It'll be right in front of me. You think I can see them? There they are. Just going to add a glue dot and just pop the glue dot underneath that leaf just to hold that down, because even though I didn't put any glue on there, and I usually don't like my leaves glued down, so if I want to lift them, I can. Because I've got that hello going over the top of it, I think that leaf just needed to be just lifted, just glued down that little bit. Okay, so now we're up to deciding what are we going to do with these. Let's take these off for a moment. I actually quite like that without having too much, but I think, yes, we do need a bit more of that darker one. But where are we going to pop it? I think randomly without following these might be just trying to flip them over. They're really nice. They're very lovely matte colour. They're not like too shiny. I sort of tend to go more of a shine. I'm not real, as I said before, a blingy person myself. I mean, I don't even wear my wedding rings, and I've got my grandmother's beautiful engagement ring. I don't even wear that. Mind you, I don't even know whether it fit me at the moment. So put another one of these. So I've just got to put glue down yet, but I'm just trying to work out roughly where we could put them. I think something like that, rather than having too many around here. I think it's going to be too heavy. And hi, Glenda. And it's going to unbalance it. So let's pop down some adhesive. So do I want that one there? I might just take that one out for a second. Pop a little bit of glue here. That can go there. You want to keep it in a triangular if you can, and in groups of 3. Groups of 3 is more appealing. I've just got a little bit of, that's it, got it off. I've got a little bit of the tack from the putty on this pen onto that one. I do want to put another little bit of glue there for that little one. Now, am I going to pop that one there? Yeah, I think there might be fine. Okay. I think we are done. Pop that one back into there and pop the lid on that if I can find the lid before I spill everything. No, I'm going to pop that inside there so I don't spill it. I will find my lid once I start to clean up. Look, there we go. I found it. I am a messy crafter, but I am proud of it. Okay. There is our completed card. Oh, no, we haven't quite completed it. We've still got our insert to go. Let's forget that. Okay. If we wanted to, we could put another sentiment in here. Actually, I think I will. Not quite sure who's going to get this. But I think we need a little bit more of this pretty peacock. Since I've got the ink. Might pop that right in the middle. Just there, and I've just had a bit of an idea. Let's see if I can find my soft seafoam. Sometimes these labels are so faint, I can hardly read them, and my eyes are so bad. They keep telling me it's called age. Okay, so I've got the large flower here, and I'm just going to ink that in the soft seafoam, which might need to be re-inked. See how we go. Lovely. You made a similar one, Glenda. Give that a good rub just to make sure that that's all in. Here down, that looks good. Let's just move this out of the road so I don't get ink everywhere. So this isn't it bad stamps to use? I still want to play with it a bit more. I've seen some really nice cards made with it, which I want to give a try. I want to give it a try with embossing, doing some white embossing in the roses and then colour them. So there we are. So that's the outside with a little bit of linen thread on there and a little bit of those beautiful frosted dots. As I said, the flowers are very simple to die cut out if you don't want to stamp them, but you could also emboss them on white cardstock and colour them whatever colours you want, or even emboss them on the wrong side of some of these colours and get some, some stronger colours, whatever, from the cardstock as well. So that's it's quite pretty, and I'm glad I still have my pretty peacock. I'm glad I didn't get rid of that. Just need cardstock, so I've got my blends. Good thing I keep my blends, and that is going to be another lovely card to send out to somebody. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Now, I've got to work out who am I going to send it to. Glenda, how would you like to send me your, text me your address? Just send me a message to your address. And Glenda, I'm going to send this card out to you today. So I've got enough cards lying around here, so I'd like to send that to you. So I hope you have a lovely day. And we're supposed to be getting some bit of rain fairly soon. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know, but it's quite cool. I went out for a cup of coffee this morning with some friends, and they're apparently telling us that this autumn could be a hot autumn. So we haven't had much of a hot summer. So this is going to be quite interesting over the next few weeks. But have a lovely weekend. I hope you can all join me again next Friday, and we'll make another card. So take care. As I said, Glenn, send me your address, and I'd love to pass this on to you. Bye for now.